if the China marked up in 10, maybe.
So, did you get the notification that I entered a gold trade? I just said. I think I had 15 woofers. Get the notification that I entered. No.
50 waffles. Nice.
No.
I know I'm a pig. I had 15 of those. Okay.
What to say about silver, Thomas? Good afternoon. Sorry.
Hello. We can have a look at silver in a minute. Let me just set up. Let me just send out the signal to our comrades in Discord. Can't believe I had a losing trade today. I almost blew my account.
What could possibly that was?
2 minutes later, we went positive.
Okay, we are 60 pips profit. Amazing. Doesn't matter what I do, I just keep printing money. Okay, let me get some water. And then we start dust trading. What kind of music would you like today?
No preference. Whatever you like.
Enjoy. Let me get some water. $55 pips in profit, very nice.
Thomas, sorry for bothering you. Again, about silver. I see it as a little twin to the gold.
Let's have a look at silver.
Thank you.
Silver, straight buy. Of course, it's not financial advice. What I'm going to show you is that I'm going to enter buy trade. And by the way, Bitcoin is at 2,000 pips profit. Targeting. Fuck. I always forget the contract size for silver is it's ridiculously crazy. So I need to half it. Or should I leave it? No, I'm gonna leave it. So entered a silver trade as well. But no, I'm going to half the silver trade because it's just too big. So 0.1. Okay. And now I can expand the stop loss. This is the beauty of trading. You are in control of your risk, which is a great thing. But many traders underestimate the power of self-choice. Yeah, self-choice. You can manage your risk properly and be happy, or just ruin your life.
In US 30, Thomas, can we see another downside day today?
US 30, let me just check it for you, so right away.
Yesterday was good. Thanks for that.
I know. Yeah, I think US 30 is going to go further down, but look into NASDAQ. I think NASDAQ is going to fall even more. The reason for that is because US 30 has some of the cyclicals, which as I haven't made the video yet because I started it, but then I ended up eating 15 of the wafers, so I had to make a short video. But anyway, so when you look at the yields are going up. Dollar is selling off. Hard assets as precious metals are going up, and the reason behind it is not only Greenland. Yes, it's part of the story because of the uncertainty and that we have a psychopath leading the United States of America. But basically what's happening in the background is that the Fed is trying to control his balance sheet. So they're trying to reduce the balance sheet. And yet, cutting interest rates and yields are going up. So what's happening? Is it uncertainty? Not 100%. What's happening in the background is that someone on the other side, the government or the treasury, is secretly printing little papers, written on it IOU. So it's the government debt. So they're issuing more and more government debt in form of IOUs, aka government bonds. And this is counterproductive. Obviously they have to manage the huge amount of debt that they have. And one of the ways is to issue more debt to balance the maturing debt. And this is why yields are rising. This is why fixed income traders are preparing for a recession. This is why cash is trash. This is why Bitcoin is trash. This is why the best performing assets, the Magnificent Seven, the best performing assets in the last 3 years, the Magnificent Seven is selling off. And this is why everything is happening right now. Yields are going up. Cash is trash. Bitcoin, Magnificent Seven, stocks are trash. The precious metals are going up. And that's what's happening in the background.
Yeah, it's very confusing with indices today, these days. There's so many factors in play. I have a stocks portfolio. I just keep doubling down.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't give you advice what to do with your stock portfolio, but I think in the next 12 to 16 months we're going to see major indices going half.
You're hearing about that. I agree with you.
Who's got a link for the Trump speech?
I don't.
Well, you're gonna watch the Bloomberg. Maybe they're gonna be quite big.
CNBC. Oh, there you go. CNBC is live. Apparently. Yeah, it's live. And the gold position is running at 80 pips profit. Yes, buying gold, buying silver. VIX is climbing too. What are some key points you want to hear for your market direction and key topics? I want to hear Trump saying that I want Greenland and I will take Greenland. That's the biggest story right now. And if he is going to play the hard man, that's how, yeah, I think it's said in English like the hard man. So if he's going to insist that he wants Greenland, gold will reach 5,000 easily.
Why would he say he doesn't want Greenland now after weeks of being an idiot?
Can you repeat?
Not turning around, is it?
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, he has to. He has to take it through.
Yeah, well.
Walk the
hope
walk
he's
and
not
talk the
gonna,
talk.
but he's gonna have to talk about it.
Yesterday's speech was a nonsense. I'm not waiting much more from him. So this is gonna be exciting.
Oh yeah. I think everyone is lining up for Trump. There you go. Something is happening. There's no sound on. Why there is no sound on CNBC? Let me hit the refresh.
Maybe that camera don't have the sound capture.
Okay.
Breakthrough vaccines have lifted living standards and saved billions of lives around the
Has it
world, and
started?
we're continuing to work on things that you'll be hearing about in the near future, that even today, sitting here right now, you wouldn't believe it's possible, that we have found the answers. You'll be hearing about it, but we have found answers to things that people said would not be possible, certainly not in a very short period of time. But the wonders of the last century will pale in comparison to what today's young innovators will achieve, because they are doing things
Is that
nobody
AI?
thought
Yeah, that's AI. No
even
way. It
feasible to
doesn't
begin.
talk like that.
That's
Is it?
That's not his
We continue to
chosen word.
embrace tech.
Not that.
What?
Yeah, most likely that's AI or a fake video.
Are you serious? On Times Now. Can't believe it's so difficult now to sometimes to make to differentiate between what's real and what's not.
The
So-
accent is, but
Reuters,
the words are
Reuters
not.
is live and the sound isn't. Sorry, the sound isn't on yet. Reuters is live as well.
Ah, okay.
I'm following Bloomberg. It's not on yet.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, this should be it. It's going to be exciting. Okay, leave this here for a minute. Let's check the open positions. So long on silver and gold, shorting Bitcoin for now, but be careful because as you can see, my position sizes aren't that big, and the stop losses are in place just in case if you have volatility. And we're most likely going to see huge volatility when Trump sets foot on the stage. So you have to be smart. Yesterday, who made money yesterday with me?
I did.
I did.
Index.
Thanks, Thomas.
Everyone made money. Thank you. So you're welcome. Everyone made money. So make sure that you lock in some profits and don't give it back to the market today. What? That is crazy.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah, feel free.
Sorry, because I'm new in the group and really new in the trading, I'm not quite sure. I bought your lifetime membership, but where did you give the opening trades every morning? In the here or in some Telegram close group or somewhere else?
Hi, Maria. Welcome to the group, first of all. It's in Discord.
In this, okay.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Can you see it? Are you a member of the Discord group?
Yeah, of course.
If you go down to analysis, there's a section called Alpha FX Gold Analysis and Crypto. This is where I send the signals.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, because yes, for example, yesterday you put something for, if I'm not wrong, yes, definitely it was for gold for opening trade for 735, if I'm not wrong. But when you are live in the afternoon, you say that you make already some profit, and I was a little bit confused if I'm missing something. That's why.
I can't confirm what you have seen. What I can say is that I posted. Are we talking about yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me show you. So yesterday, I posted in the private Discord at 7:33. Hold on, yesterday morning. Yesterday I sent out the analysis at 10:24 Central European time, so it's 9:24 UK time, and I sent out a signal at 10:34. That's what you see right there.
Yeah, exactly. 4735. If I understand properly, it's a buy on entry price 4735. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the trade details right here.
Yeah,
So I'm just
yeah. I
highlighting now.
Mhm. But at the time when you live, to be honest, at this time, if I'm not wrong, the gold was about this price, and after that it go up. I thought that you opened the position a little bit low, and probably I'm missing something.
Yeah,
But
by the time I started the stream, gold price was no, gold price went up in the evening, in the afternoon, so it was higher. But it was moving sideways when we had the live. I opened another position, and in the evening it went up to 610 pips. It hit straight to take profits, and then you see a new all-time high. So yeah, it was a profitable trade.
yeah. No, I'm trying to if I'm looking properly, yeah, absolutely fine. So I'm in the right way. Okay.
You're welcome. If you have any questions, feel free to ask anyone in the group.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The White House was going to live.
The White House.
Yes, in the YouTube.
Oh, bloody hell. Where is it? The White House. Should we watch the White House or? Yeah, we're going to watch both. Question YouTube: what entry you suggest now when gold quite high? Brother, if gold is going up, just, I keep on buying. I always say buy high and sell low. And you can ask the team members, how is this strategy have been working for the last 6 months?
Months, yeah. Perfect.
Very well.
Just have risk
Make-
management.
Yeah, I'm making too much money.
Yeah. We have to lose some because we were making so much money. We had to, yeah. We had to lose some. Okay, welcome everyone. So positions are set. Yesterday, I don't know how much profit we made because it hit take profit. Gold went through the roof. It was a clear target. Right now, I have buy position in gold and silver. Sell in Bitcoin. Sell in US30. But these positions have been opened days ago, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And let me just check US30. US30. Jesus Christ, it's melting. Look at US30. It's going to melt to hell. Most likely Nasdaq will follow. Yeah. I'm gonna enter sell 5 lots. Sell on Nasdaq. Targeting 22,000. Yeah. Gold is a buy. We're running at 63 pips of profit. Jesus Christ. 4,000 pips profit on gold, which I have a runner for a few weeks now, a few months. Yesterday's position would be around 1,500 pips, but it hit take profit, so it closed out. Silver, yes, I do have a silver long position. selling Nasdaq, selling US 30, and buying gold and silver. US 30 is melting. Okay, gold is moving up, so I think something is happening in Davos. Trump should be on the stage right now. So he's 2 minutes late, 2 minutes out. Okay, those of you who would like to join the AlphaFX community, go to alphafx.eu. We do pretty much every high impact event live trading. And let me just send the link into the YouTube chat. We do live trade the high impact events, so we're not hiding. We trade the hardest and the most volatile. And Trump is coming. Look at that, they're sending people back. Trump is definitely coming. It's going to be exciting. Yes, gold long position, US 30 short, and silver long as well. Very exciting days, very good profits yesterday. Gold position, which was sent out before we started the live stream. No, actually at the live stream when we started. So for members, it was a signal running at 82 pips profit. Whew, crazy. Where are you, Donald? McDonald. Yeah, I think gold long positions are still very reasonable. So bear in mind that my analysis is based on the information that we know now, and this could change during the Trump speech. So it's called in economics ceteris paribus. If everything stays the same, and if everything stays the same, if no new information hits the market, then we should see gold prices increasing. And they're sending people back at the World Economic Forum in Davos, sending people back. So most likely Trump is about to enter the stage, and market is moving. Gold is edging higher, now running at 100 pips. The last position. He is coming shortly. Live now from
Is
Fox.
yours live? Just on YouTube, click live button on the bottom left. Because he's already speaking. They're not speaking, but they're already on stage.
Yeah, Larry Finn is talking.
Some random guy speaking there, not Trump. So
Thomas, better check Sky News. It's better because I hear sound over there already.
And particularly,
is it this
importantly, this year.
Yep,
Thankfully,
I think
this
so,
group
yeah.
is meeting under better economic
That's Larry Finn,
circumstances
right?
than during the pandemic. But once
Black
again,
Hawk guy.
we're forcing very serious different economic conditions around the world. One of the central challenges that is impacting me is how capitalism can...
All right, we love capitalism. That's why we do trading. So stop talking about capitalism. So okay, gold position is in still very, very nice profit. You can see on the screen. US 30 is also in profit. Silver is also in profit. Everything is in profit. Everything. Guys, if gold hits 5,000 today, I'm gonna take the rest of the month off.
That's what the forum is about. Serious conversation in the spirit of
yesterday
dialogue.
I made about £5,000 or
Discussions where
£6,000. The
the
day
world is
before,
headed,
another one.
where are we
It was a good
going?
month, very good
And
month. And it's only the
discussions would be
21st of January.
incomplete without the President of the United States.
Last week, we made more money.
Trump is live.
Most
Thomas, watch the White House.
Are you guys serious?
Donald J. Trump.
I am. He's shaking hands already.
Okay. Gold is edging higher. Good afternoon.
Well, thank you very much, Larry. It's great to be back in beautiful Davos, Switzerland, and to address so many respected business leaders, so many friends, few enemies, and all of the distinguished guests. It's a who's who, I will say that. I've come to this year's World Economic Forum with truly phenomenal news from America. Yesterday marked the one-year anniversary of my inauguration, and today, after 12 months back in the White House, our economy is booming, growth is exploding, productivity is surging, investment is soaring, incomes are rising, inflation has been defeated, our previously open and dangerous border is closed and virtually impenetrable, and the United States is in the midst of the fastest and most dramatic economic turnaround in our country's history. Under the Biden administration, America was plagued by the nightmare of stagflation, meaning low growth, and high inflation, a recipe for misery, failure, and decline. But now, after just 1 year of my policy,
This is the sales pitch. We're not interested in this.
virtually no inflation and extraordinarily high economic growth. Growth like I believe you'll see very shortly our country has never seen before, perhaps no country has ever seen before. Over the past 3 months, core inflation has been just 1.6%. Meanwhile, fourth quarter growth is projected to be 5.4%, far greater than anybody other than myself and a few others had predicted. Since the election, the stock market has set 52 all-time high records. So that's in 1 year, 52 records, adding $9 trillion in value to retirement accounts, 401ks, and people's savings. People are doing very well. They're very happy with me. Since my inauguration, we've lifted more than 1.2 million people off of food stamps, and after 4 years in which Biden...
Isn't it because he stopped the food stamps?
Country. Think of that, 1 trillion, substantially less than that. In 4 years, we've secured commitments for a record-breaking $18 trillion, and we think when the final numbers come out, they'll be closer to $20 trillion of investment. That's never been done by any country at any time, not even close. Just over 1 year ago, under the radical left Democrats, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. In fact, the United States economy is on pace to grow at double the rate that was projected by the IMF just last April. And with my growth and tariff policies, it should be much higher. I really believe we can be much higher than that. And this is all great news, and it's great for all nations. The USA is the economic engine on the planet. And when America booms, the entire world booms. It's been the history. When it goes bad, it goes bad. You all follow us down, and you follow us up, and we're at a point that we've never.
Yeah, remember what happened in 2008? Due to reckless over-leveraging of household debt, for mortgage debt and the CDOs and collateralized debt obligation and mortgage-backed securities, you dragged down the whole freaking world.
How we have achieved this economic miracle.
My parents, it cost a family business, 30-year-old family business, because of the US, went down.
Places where you come from can do much better by following what we're doing, because certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good. But it's not heading in the right direction. In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. The consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the Green New Scam, and that countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations from faraway lands. This was the path that Sleepy Joe Biden administration and many other Western governments very foolishly followed, turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong. And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing sovereign deficit driven by the largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. And the ones that do understand aren't doing anything about it. Virtually all of the so-called experts predicted my plans to end this failed model would trigger a global recession and runaway inflation. But we have proven them wrong. It's actually just the opposite. In 1 year, our agenda has produced a transformation like America has not seen in over 100 years. Instead of closing down energy plants, we're opening them up. Instead of building ineffective, money-losing windmills, we're taking them down and not approving any. Instead of empowering bureaucrats, we're firing them, and they're going out and getting jobs in the private sector for 2 and 3 times what they were making in government. So they started off hating me when we fired them, and now they love me. Instead of raising taxes on domestic producers,
he does speak some truth. Not everything is, I don't agree with everything, but many of the things are correct.
In 12 months, we have removed over 270,000 bureaucrats from the federal payrolls, the largest single-year reduction in government employment since the end of World War II. Nobody thought that was coming, but we had no choice. To make a country great, you can't have all federal jobs. We've cut federal spending by $100 billion and slashed the federal budget deficit by 27% in the single year. It's going to go down quite a bit more from that, driving inflation way down from the record highs of the Biden administration. Every month, they went up and up and up. I promised to cut 10 old regulations for every single new regulation. But instead, I've cut, actually, till this point, 129 regulations for every 1 new regulation approved. So every time they come in with a new regulation, we do at least 10, but so far it's averaging out to 129, if you can believe it. In July, we passed the largest tax cuts in American history, including no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. We also provided 100% expensing. That's the one they like. And bonus depreciation for all new equipment and capital investments to help companies expand and shift production to America. They are so in love with that. They build a plant, they're able to deduct it immediately, the whole thing, rather than waiting 38 to 41 years in the old days. This is a miracle taking place. Nobody thought it would ever be done by any country, but it's done by us. It was what made my first term the most successful 4-year term that we've ever had from a financial standpoint. And now we've upped it. This is a 10-year program, not a 1-year program, but you're allowed to deduct everything in 1 year. It used to be 38 to 41 years. With tariffs, we've radically reduced our ballooning trade deficit, which was the largest in world history. We were losing more than $1 trillion every single year, and it was just wasted. It was going to waste. But in 1 year, I slashed our monthly trade deficit by a staggering 77%, and all of this with no inflation, something everyone said could not be done. There were a couple of brilliant...
It sounds like a performance review, doesn't it?
Well, he had this performance yesterday, so it's the same script. It's just bragging.
Was he speaking yesterday? Did he have a speech?
The achievements of his administration in this 1 year in office was a nonsense. You have to watch it. He was talking like mad talk.
Yeah. Hope he's going to talk about Greenland, because that's why everyone is listening.
41%, yeah. And that number is really going to skyrocket right now, because that's during a process that they're putting in to get their approvals, and we've given very, very quick, fast approvals. In the process, we've made historic trade deals with partners covering 40% of all U.S. trade. Some of the greatest companies and countries in the world. We have countries as our partner, too. The European nations,
Can you just fast
Japan,
forward?
South Korea. They're our partners. They've gone into massive deals with us, especially on oil and gas.
Yeah, I know. I'm just...
And these agreements raise growth and cause stock markets to boom, not only in the U.S., but virtually every country that came to make a deal, because, as you've learned, when the United States goes up, you follow. It's really become a staple. In America, I've stopped the nation-wrecking energy policies that drive up prices while sending jobs and factories to the world's worst polluters. They are indeed polluters. Under sleepy Joe Biden, new domestic oil and gas leases fell by 95%. Think of that. And they wonder, why was gasoline going up so fast? The gasoline actually topped $5 a gallon, and some places $7 a gallon, and more than 100 major power plants were violently shut down by incompetent people that had no idea what the hell they were doing. Under my leadership, U.S. natural gas production is at an all-time high by far. U.S. oil production is up by 730,000 barrels a day, and last week we picked up 50 million barrels from Venezuela alone. Venezuela has been an amazing place for so many years, but then they went bad with their policies. 20 years ago, it was a great country, and now it's got problems, but we're helping them. And those 50 million barrels, we're going to be splitting up with them, and they'll be making more money than they've made in a long time. Venezuela is going to do fantastically well. We appreciate all of the cooperation we've been giving. We've been giving great cooperation. Once the attack ended, and they said, let's make a deal. More people should do that. But Venezuela is going to make more money in the next 6 months than they've made in the last 20 years. Every major oil company is coming in with us. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing to see. The leadership of the country has been very good. They've been very, very smart. The price of gasoline is now below $2.50 a gallon in many states, $2.50 30 cents a gallon in most states, and will soon be averaging less than $2 a gallon. In many places, it's already down even lower, $1.95 a gallon. Numerous states are at $1.99, numbers that nobody has heard for years. Actually, since my last administration, we got it down to around those numbers. I've signed an order directing and approval of many new nuclear reactors. We're going heavy into nuclear. I was not a big fan because I didn't like the risk, the danger, but they have the progress they've made with nuclear is unbelievable, and the safety progress they've made is incredible. We're very much into the world of nuclear energy, and we can have it now at good prices and very, very safe. And we're leading the world in AI by a lot. We're leading China by a lot. I think President Xi respects what we've done, in part because I've allowed these big companies building these massive buildings to build their own electric capacity. They're building their own power plants, which when added up is more than any country anywhere in the world is doing. I read recently an article in the Wall Street Journal that China's creating so much energy, and they are. I got to hand it to them. But we're creating as much or more, and we're letting them do that. I'm very proud of it. It was my idea. I said, you can't create this much energy. We needed more than double the energy currently in the country just to take care of the AI plants. And I said, we can't do that. We have an old grid system. And I came up with the idea, you know, you people are brilliant. You have a lot of money. Let's see what you can do. You can build your own electric generating plants. And they looked at me. They didn't believe me. All of the names that are, I think, in the room right now, if you want to know the truth, they didn't believe it. And I said, no, you can't. They came back 2 weeks and they didn't have the plant. They said, we thought you were kidding. I said, no, not only am I not kidding, you're going to have your approvals within 2 weeks. I always say nuclear will take 3 weeks. But most aren't going that. They're going oil and gas. They're even going coal in some cases. Because of my landslide election victory, the United States avoided the catastrophic energy collapse which befell every European nation that pursued the Green New Scam, perhaps the greatest hoax in history. The Green New Scam, windmills all over the place, destroy your land, destroy your land. Every time that goes around, you lose $1,000. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Here in Europe, we've seen the fate that the radical left tried to impose on America. They tried very hard. Germany now generates 22% less electricity than it did in 2017. And it's not the current chancellor's fault. He's solving the problem. He's going to do a great job. But what they did before he got there, I guess that's why he got there. And electricity prices are 64% higher. The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from all sources that it did in 1999. Think of that, 1/3. And they're sitting on top of the North Sea, one of the greatest reserves anywhere in the world, but they don't use it. And that's one reason why their energy has reached catastrophically low levels with equally high prices. High prices, very low levels. Think of that, 1/3. And you're sitting on top of the North Sea, and they like to say, well, you know, that's depleted. It's not depleted. It's got 500 years. They haven't even found the oil. The North Sea is incredible. They don't let anybody drill. Environmentally, they don't let them drill. They make it impossible for the oil companies to go. They take 92% of the revenues. So the oil companies say, we can't do it. They came to see me. Is there anything you can do? I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great. Sitting on one of the greatest energy sources in the world, and they don't use it. In fact, their electricity prices have soared 139%. There are windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. One thing I've noticed is that the more windmills a country has, the more money that country loses and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all of the windmills, And yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them, they sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them, but they don't use them themselves. They put up a couple of big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like. They don't spin, they don't do anything. They use a thing called coal, mostly. But China goes with the coal, they go with oil and
It
gas.
sounds like he really needs
They're
an
starting
app.
to look at nuclear a little bit.
Does China has wind farms, doesn't it?
That they wouldn't be surprised
Yeah,
if
they
it
do.
stopped. They are shocked that it continues to go. They're very friendly with me. They're
China
shocked
has
that
the
people
world's
continue
largest
to buy those
installed
damn
wind
things. They
power
killed the
capacity
birds,
and
they
accounts
ruin
for a
your
significant
landscapes.
portion of global wind
Other than that, I
generation.
think they're fabulous, by the way.
That's why he
people
said
buy
it's
'em.
for show
The
off, because it's the
consequences of
biggest,
such
and China
destructive
always likes
policies
to be
have
the
been
biggest
stark,
one.
including lower
Yeah, it's
economic
like,
growth, lower standards of living, lower birth
window
rates,
shopping.
more
like,
socially
here we
disruptive
have
migration,
the wind farms, you can
more
take them.
vulnerability to hostile foreign adversaries, and much, much smaller militaries. The United States cares greatly about the people of Europe. We really do. I mean, look, I am derived from Europe, Scotland and Germany. 100% Scotland, my mother, 100% German, my father. And we believe deeply in the bonds we share with Europe as a civilization. I want to see it do great. That's why issues like energy, trade, immigration, and economic growth must be central concerns to anyone who wants to see a strong and united West, because Europe and those countries have to do their thing. They have to get out of the culture that they've created over the last 10 years. It's horrible what they're doing to themselves. They're destroying themselves. It's beautiful, beautiful places. We want strong allies, not seriously weakened ones. We want Europe to be strong. Ultimately, these are matters of national security, and perhaps no current issue makes the situation more clear than what's currently going on with Greenland. Would you like me to say a few words of Greenland?
Oh,
I was going to leave it out
Finally.
of the speech, but I think I would have been reviewed very negatively. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and
gold
the
is
people
increasing.
of Denmark. Tremendous respect. But every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States.
I'm
We're a
gonna
great
move
power,
stop loss into
much
break
greater than
even,
people even understand.
just
I
to
think they
avoid
found
any-
that out 2 weeks ago in
any sudden
Venezuela.
moves.
We saw this in World War II when Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting and was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled, we did it, we felt an obligation to do it, to send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory. And hold it we did, at great cost and expense. They didn't have a chance of getting on it, and they tried. Denmark knows that. We literally set up bases on Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting to save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. But we saved Greenland and successfully prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now? So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of. They weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated. They said, we've got them in our sights. Press the trigger, and nothing happened. No anti-aircraft missiles went up. There was one that went up about 30 feet and crashed down right next to the people that sent it. They said, what the hell is going on? Those defensive systems were made by Russia and by China. So they're going to go back to the drawing boards, I guess. Greenland is a vast, almost entirely uninhabited and undeveloped territory. It's sitting undefended in a key strategic location between the United States, Russia, and China. That's exactly where it is, right smack in the middle. Wasn't important nearly when we gave it back. You know, when we gave it back, it wasn't the same as it is now. It's not important for any other.
Into lower because price is now pulling back, but he is most likely not going to give up on the hopes to annex Greenland. So the bias remains bullish, cautiously.
Hundreds of feet of ice. That's not the reason we need it. We need it for strategic national security and international security. This enormous unsecured island is actually part of North America.
I entered another buy at
on the northern frontier of the Western Hemisphere. That's our territory. It is therefore a core national security interest of the United States of America. And in fact, it's been our policy for hundreds of years to prevent outside threats from entering our hemisphere. And we've done it very successfully. We've never been stronger than we are now. That's why American presidents have sought to purchase Greenland for nearly 2 centuries. You know, for 2 centuries, they've been trying to do it. They should have kept it after World War II, but they had a different president.
Inconveniently, he stretches the speech so long. New York is about to open in 25 minutes. So he is definitely making the market right now. He's leading up, and he's going to make so much money in indices, stocks, crypto, whatever he's trading. This is a show, and this is the biggest ever. Oh my God. Gold is moving.
Volatility is coming.
It's alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us. And that's the reason I'm seeking immediate negotiations to once again discuss the acquisition of Greenland by the United States, just as we have acquired many other territories throughout our history, as many of the European nations have. They've acquired, there's nothing wrong with it. Many of them, some went in reverse, actually, if you look. Some had great, vast wealth, great, vast lands all over the world. They went in reverse. They're stuck back where they started. That happens
using stop
too.
loss for now.
But some grow. But this would not be a threat to NATO. This would greatly enhance the security of the entire alliance, the NATO alliance. The United States is treated very unfairly by NATO. I want to tell you that. And when you think about it, nobody can dispute it. We give so much and we get so little in return. And I've been a critic of NATO for many years.
That's why
and yet I've done more to help NATO than any other president by far, than any other person. You wouldn't have NATO if I didn't get involved in my first term. The war with Ukraine is an example. We are thousands of miles away, separated by a giant ocean. It's a war that should have never started, and it wouldn't have started if the 2020 U.S. presidential election weren't rigged. It was a rigged election. Everybody now knows that. They found out. People will soon be prosecuted for what they did. It's probably breaking news, but it should be. It was a rigged election. Can't have rigged elections. You need strong borders, strong elections, and ideally a good press. I always say it. Strong borders, strong elections, free, fair elections, and a fair media. The media is terrible. It's very crooked. It's very biased, terrible. But someday it'll straighten out because it's losing all credibility. Think of it, when I went in a landslide, a giant landslide, won all 7 swing states, won the popular vote, won everything, and I only get negative press. That means that it has no credibility. And if they're going to get credibility, they're going to have to be fair. So you need a fair press. But you also need those other elements. And I inherited a terrible, terrible situation. If you look, the border was open, the inflation was raging, everything was bad with the United States when I came into office. But I also inherited a mess with Ukraine and Russia, something that would have never happened. And I know Putin very well. He and I would discuss Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye, but he wasn't going to do anything. I said, Vladimir, you're not doing it. He would never have done it. It was terrible what happened. I could see it happening, too. After I left, I could see it happening. Biden had given Ukraine and NATO $350 billion, a staggering sum, $350 billion. I came in, and just like the southern border, just like inflation, just like our economy, I said, wow, this place is in trouble, meaning our country. All of these things were out of control. But the border was out of control. We fixed it with the strongest border anywhere in the world. And I've now been working on this war for 1 year, during which time I settled 8 other wars. India, Pakistan. I settled other wars that were Vladimir Putin called me, Armenia, Azerbaijan. He said, I can't believe you said.
I mean, I start to believe that he is the greatest man on this planet. Given the things that he did in the past 1 year, he's talking for 40 minutes now.
That war for 10 years trying to settle it. I couldn't do it. I said, do me a favor, focus on settling your war. Don't worry about that one. What does the United States get out of all of this work, all of this money, other than death, destruction, and massive amounts of cash going to people who don't appreciate what we do? They don't appreciate what we do. I'm talking about NATO, I'm talking about Europe. They have to work on Ukraine. We don't. The United States is very far away. We have a big, beautiful ocean separating us. We have nothing to do with it. Until I came along, NATO was only supposed to pay 2% of GDP, but they weren't paying. Most of the countries weren't paying anything. The United States was paying for virtually 100% of NATO. And I got that stopped. I said, that's not fair. But then more importantly, I got NATO to pay 5%, and now they were paying, and now they are paying. So something nobody said was possible. They said, we will never go up higher than 2%. But they went to 5%, and now they're paying the 5. They didn't pay the 2, and now they're paying the 5. And they're stronger for it, and they have an excellent, by the way, Secretary General, who's possibly in the room. Mark, are you here? Yes, he's here. Hello, Mark. We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force.
Okay, I'm gonna close down the gold long positions. That's it's not going anywhere, and he said he's not gonna use force, so boring.
Defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in World War II. We gave it back to them. We were a powerful force then, but we are a much more powerful force now. After I rebuilt the military in my first term and continue to do so today, we have a budget of $1.5 trillion. We're bringing back battleships. The battleship is 100 times more powerful than the great battleships you saw in World War II, those great, big, gorgeous ships, the Missouri, the Iowa, the Alabama. Because I thought maybe we could take them out of mothballs. They said, no, sir, these ships are 100, think of that, 100 times more powerful than those big, magnificent pieces of art that you saw so many times ago, that you still see on television. You say, wow, what a force. 100 times each ship, 100.
What do you think, guys? He said he's not gonna take Greenland by force. I think gold is now going to have a correction.
Yes,
So,
stocks are also correcting a
yeah,
bit.
gonna close down silver. I'm gonna close down indices because New York is opening in 17 minutes, and I think we're going to have, if it doesn't say anything else, indices will most likely shoot up. What about Bitcoin? God, that was painful.
He's speaking about Greenland at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna close down Bitcoin as well.
Number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement or a lease, which is a large piece of ice in the middle of the ocean where if there is a war, much of the action will take place on that piece of ice. Think of it. Those missiles would be flying right over the center of that piece of ice. All we want from Denmark for national and international security and to keep our very energetic and dangerous potential enemies at bay is this land on which we're going to build the greatest golden dome ever built. We're building a golden dome that's going to, just by its very nature,
I'm keeping 2 lot position on hold, and I might going to scalp if he says something crazy.
Your Prime Minister yesterday, he wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
Is he talking about Mark Carney?
What we did for Israel was amazing. But that's nothing compared to what we have planned for the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world. We are going to build a dome like no other. We did it for Israel. And by the way, I told Bibi, stop taking credit for the dome. That's our technology. That's our stuff. But they had a lot of courage, and they were good fighters, and they did a good job, and we wiped out the Iran nuclear threat like nobody can believe. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. That, Venezuela, taking down Soleimani, wiping out al-Baghdadi when he tried to reinstitute ISIS. We did a lot. I did a lot of big things, all perfectly executed. Everyone was perfectly executed. Somebody told me that, a military expert told me, sir, everything.
Do you see what he's doing? He's taking time. He's pushing the speech into the New York session, and then he's going to drop the bomb or not. He's doing this deliberately. He's again cooking the markets.
What do you think? It's a buy, obviously, right?
This is insane. He's literally
It has to be.
Yes, he's how do you say it? God, I forgot the word. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's taking his time. He's taking his time at this moment.
Yeah. He's going to speak into the New York session, and then he's going to fiddle with the markets.
Before that, it was 28,000. The month before that, it was 25,000.
He's manipulating the markets. It's absolutely insane. Right in front of us, he's manipulating the markets into the New York session.
But these are souls.
I have no open positions. I have only one runner, but I'm gonna wait this out. This is insane.
No, they go to war. Their parents are so proud. Oh, there he goes, comes back. 2 weeks later, they get a call. Your son's head's been blown off.
Someone is saying that Trump is drunk. No, he's not drunk. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's manipulating the markets. The New York Stock Exchange is opening in 13 minutes. He's manipulating the markets. He's talking so much shit. You're going to be so confused by the end of the hour. And he's manipulating the markets. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Dealing with President Zelensky, and I think he wants to make a deal. I'm meeting him today. He might be in the audience right now. But they got to get that war stopped because too many people are dying, needlessly dying. Too many souls are being lost. It's the only reason I'm interested in doing it. But in doing it, I'm helping Europe, I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right, last time. A very smart man said, he's our daddy. He's running it. I was like running it. I went from running it to being a terrible human being. But now what I'm asking for is a piece of ice, cold and poorly located, that can play a vital role in world peace and world protection. It's a very small ask compared to what we have given them for many, many decades. But the problem with NATO is that we'll be there for them 100%. But I'm not sure that they'd be there for us. If we gave them the call, gentlemen, we are being attacked. We're under attack by such and such a nation. I know them all very well. I'm not sure that they'd be there. I know we'd be there for them. I don't know that they'd be there for us. So with all of the money we expend, with all of the blood, sweat, and tears, I don't know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland.
Can you believe?
Really?
Can
It's
you
not
believe that
keywords, man.
he's
It's
the
not
only
keywords.
person? He's the only person on the planet who can do this without going to jail. He's manipulating the markets. He's talking so much shit. He's talking for 48 minutes now.
Oh my God.
New York is opening in 11 minutes.
And he's lying too, because USA is only country who's been activate NATO Article 5.
I can't. I know. There's so much information. Unbelievable that this guy is capable. Speaking of 1 hour.
Yeah. This has never happened before this.
Various other things that they were doing. I mean, they were making $50 million, but it would take them 3 years to give you a Patriot missile. I said, that's not good. My chauffeur can do a better job than that, and he makes slightly less than 50. They make big salaries. If they're going to make those big salaries, they're going to have to produce a lot faster. The good news is we have the greatest equipment in the world. Now we're going to start making it a lot faster. They're going to build additional plants. And all of the money that goes into stock buybacks is going to go into building plants. We're not allowing stock buybacks by defense companies any longer. They're going to build new plants to make Tomahawks, Patriots. We have the best equipment, F-35s, F-47, the new one just coming out. They say it's the most devastating plane, fighter jet ever. Who knows? They called it 47. If I don't like it, I'm going to take the 47 off it. I wonder why they called it 47. We'll have to think about that. But if I don't like it, I'm going to take that 47 off. But it's supposed to be the stage 6. It's supposed to be the first stage 6 plane, undetectable, like our B-2 bombers were undetectable. They flew right over Iran. They were undetectable. And they did their job, and they got the hell out of there. So we want a piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept
There's no way
that piece of land,
There's
and
no
we
way
didn't, so.
I'm gonna put anything on the line, any more positions on the line, because he literally, with half a sentence or one single word, he can crash or boost the market.
Yep.
He's doing deliberately, and he knows exactly what he's going to say next. We got 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes until New York Open, and he's manipulating the markets.
The economy is strong because national security requires economic security and economic prosperity, and we have the greatest that we've ever had. Biden and his allies destroyed our economy and gave us perhaps the worst inflation in American history. They say 48 years, I say forever, but I think 48 years is the equivalent to forever. Whether it's 48 years or ever, it's terrible. Costing the typical family $33,000. What
it was easy to see. Bullshit. Bullshit. First of all, Trump is a businessman. Then he's a president. He's interested in doing much money. Yes, absolutely. He did it in 2016 throughout 2020. So for 4 years, the first term, he made money by manipulating markets. He called out Elon Musk, he called out Jeff Bezos, he called out the Chinese. He was making so much money that it was unbelievable. But come on, in Davos, where the whole world is literally live streaming him, manipulating the market again, this is just insane.
In his mind, where is the
Down
best
by
spot to do it?
up
It's
to
here.
90%, depending on the way you calculate. You could also say 5, 6, 7, 800%. There are two ways of figuring that. But we have a favored nations policy that every president wanted, no president was able to get. I got it, and other nations approved it. And I had to use tariffs in order to get it because they said, no way. In other words, a pill that costs 10% in London costs $130. Think it costs $10 in London, costs $130 in New York or in Los Angeles. And I'd say, boy, that's bad. Friends of mine would say, you know, we go to London, you can buy the stuff for nothing. We go all over the world, we could buy it for nothing. Because basically America was subsidizing every nation in the world. Because presidents allowed them to get away with it. It became very tough. So when I called up Emmanuel Macron, I watched him yesterday with those beautiful sunglasses. What the hell happened?
Oh my God.
My video.
But I
Crazy.
watched him sort of be tough. But he was at $10 for a pill. And I said, Emmanuel, and I have all the big pharmaceutical companies are in total agreement. It wasn't easy, by the way. They're tough, smart. They've been getting away with the scam for a long time. But they gave it up. But they said, you'll never get the countries to approve it. I said, why is that? Because they won't. They always said, we're not paying any more. Get the rest for the United States. So over the years, they stayed the same. We just went up, up, up. And I mean, we would pay 13, 14, 15 times more than certain countries would. So I said, no, they'll approve it 100%. Sir, you'll never get them to approve it. I said, I guarantee you. But I actually started with Emmanuel, who probably is in the room too. And I like him. I actually like him. Hard to believe, isn't it? And I said, Emmanuel, you're going to have to lift the price of that pill to $20, maybe $30. Think of that. That means it's a doubling of prescription drugs. Might be a tripling, might be a quadrupling. It's not easy. No, 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 Donald, I will not do that. I said, yes, you will, 100%. He said, no, no, no. You're asking me to double. I said, Emmanuel, you've been taking advantage of the United States for 30 years with prescription drugs. You really should do it, and you will do it. I have no doubt. In fact, I am 100% sure you're going to. No, 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 I will not do it. Because, yes, in all fairness, he has to double or triple. Because the world being a bigger place than the United States, it's not that you meet in the middle. You just have to go up some, and we come down a lot. They go up a little, we come down a lot. So we're at $130. They're at
Unbelievable. 4 minutes, New York is going to open, and I have a feeling that he's going to drop the bomb when New York opens. Whether it's about Greenland or something else, but he's going to manipulate the markets. Unbelievable.
5% tariff on everything that you sell into the United States and a 100% tariff on your wines and champagnes. And that's about 10 times more than what I'm requesting. And you're going to do it. I don't want to go public with it, but you may make me do that. No, no, Donald, I will do it. I will do it. It took me, on average, 3 minutes a country, saying the same thing.
Someone is asking, why is he doing this? Because he, as written by many on YouTube and in the chat, that he's a businessman. He has a long history of manipulating markets. During his first term between 2016 and 2020, he manipulated the markets so many times, calling out Jeff Bezos, tariffing to China, and this is how he makes money. He's manipulating the markets, and his friends or whoever trades for him knows exactly what he's going to say, and they have the positions already in place. And New York is opening in 3 minutes.
The biggest things that I've done is the fact that we have now most favored nation. We will pay whatever the lowest price is in the entire world. So our drug prices are going to be coming down by staggering 90%. Again, you could say 1,000%, 2,000%. Depends on the way you want to figure it, but we'll go with the way the fake news likes it better because it sounds.
Question
can you
is, should we buy Dow Jones? Is it gonna hit 50,000? If he's manipulating the markets, what is the most likely that he's going to push higher and higher? Stocks, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But really depends what he's gonna say.
Yeah,
I'm betting on stocks up, but who knows?
Yeah, okay, let me check the Nasdaq chart. Where is it? Where are you? Yeah, US 30. I'm gonna place 20 lots. 20 lots. There you go. And now going back to
Years, Wall Street giants and institutional investment firms. Many of you are here. Many of you are good friends of mine. Many of you are supporters. Sorry to do this to you. I'm so sorry. But you've driven up housing prices by purchasing hundreds of thousands of single-family homes, and it's been a great investment for them. Often as much as 10% of houses on the market. You know, the crazy thing is a person can't get depreciation on a house, but when a corporation buys it, they get depreciation. Okay, that's something we're going to have to think about too. I don't know if too many people think about that. You buy a corporation, they buy 500 houses, they buy hundreds of thousands, they buy 500 houses, they can take depreciation. A person sweats and works and buys one house, they can't. But homes are built for people, not for corporations, and America will not become a nation of renters. We're not going to do that. That's why I have signed an executive order banning large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. It's just not fair to the public. They're not able to buy a house. And I'm calling on Congress to pass that ban into permanent law, and I think they will.
50 seconds.
Now,
Donald Trump, I assume he's going to finish very soon because he was trying to he's going to try to manipulate the market, and I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing. And we got 30 seconds.
Interest rates of 28%, 30%, 31%, 32%. Whatever happened to usury? So to help our citizens recover from the Biden disaster, all caused by this horrible, just horrible precedent, I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year.
10, 9,
and this
8,
will help millions
7, 6,
of Americans
5,
save for a home.
4,
They have no idea they're paying
3,
28%.
2,
they go out there a
1,
little
and
later
New
in
York
their
Stock
payment,
Exchange
and they
is
end up
now
losing their
open.
house.
Let's see how the market is going to react.
It's terrible.
Okay.
To unleash innovation and savings and financing, I'm also working to ensure America
I'm long on
remains
US
the
30.
crypto capital of the world. And to that
Currently
end, last
at
year I
30
signed
pips
a
profit.
landmark Genius
No positions on
Act
gold
into
because
law.
it's
Now
just too
Congress is
volatile.
working very hard on crypto market structure legislation, Bitcoin, all of them, which I hope to sign very soon, unlocking new pathways for Americans to reach financial freedom. And I did it for two reasons. Number one, I thought it was politically good, and it was. I got tremendous political support. But more importantly, China wanted that market too. It's just like they want the AI. And we've got that market, I think, pretty well locked up. If I didn't do it, you know, Biden was totally against it until before the election when they realized that, you know, there were millions of people voting against him over crypto.
Putting stop loss
and all of a sudden they loved it very much, but it was too late. 42. They blew it.
Look
but
at Nasdaq.
It is politically popular, but it's much more importantly, we have to make it so that China doesn't get the hold of it. And once they have that hold, we're not going to be able to get it back.
US 30.
So I'm honored to have done it. Finally, I've instructed government-backed institutions to purchase up to $200 billion in mortgage bonds to bring down interest rates. And I'll be announcing a new Fed chairman in the not-too-distant future. I think he'll do a very good job. See, I gave away some of it. I did give that away. So we have something, got something. But somebody that's very respected. They're all respected. They're all great. Everyone that I interviewed is great. Everyone could do, I think, a fantastic job. Problem is they change once they get the job. They do. You know, they're saying everything I want to hear, and then they get the job. They're locked in for 6 years. They get the job, and all of a sudden, let's raise rates a little bit. I call them, sir, we'd rather not talk about this. It's amazing how people change once they have the job. But it's too bad. Sort of disloyalty,
If
but
he's attacking
they
Powell
got to do what they
and
think is
the
right.
central bank, gold is going to reach 5,000. Is he going to continue with this publicly?
And he's very late with interest rates, except before the election, he was just fine for the other side. So we're going to have somebody that's great, and we hope he does the right job. Last week, the average 30-year mortgage rate dropped below 6% for the first time in many years. Another major factor in driving up housing costs was the mass invasion of our borders. And I have to say one thing about housing, because nobody ever says this. I am very protective of people that already own a house, of which we have millions and millions and millions. And because we have...
Honestly, this is going on for 1 hour. Jumping from one topic to another one, and the market is trying to figure out that, okay, so what is the takeaway? What is the takeaway? We heard how great things he did in the past 1 year, and he slammed Joe Biden. He pretty much cussed everyone else. He talked about Greenland. He talked about everything. Like, I can't even follow it. Like, how many topics he touched base on? This sounds like a performance review that he's trying to explain it to his boss, the people, like what he did in the last 1 year. I can't follow it.
Now, if I want to really crush the housing market, I could...
Every 2 minutes, he starts a new topic, or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. US 30 is pushing up, so that's good for
houses. In some cases,
position.
they
Gold
mortgage
is
their house,
still ranging.
and the mortgage would be very low. And all of a sudden, the mortgage without any changes becomes very high, and they end up losing the house. I'm not going to hurt, and I speak with Scott, who's doing a fantastic job, and Howard, who's doing a fantastic job, and all of my people. And I always say, look, you know, I can crush the hell out of the market. We can drop interest rates to a level, and that's one thing we do want to do. That's natural. That's good for everybody. You know, the dropping of the interest rates, we should be...
How did you see?
Yep.
He hasn't mentioned interest rates for 1 hour, and as soon as New York opened, he starts talking about interest rates.
No.
He's manipulating the market on purpose. Unbelievable.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm full long on US 30. I'm going to keep a long on gold as well.
They were paying nothing to the United States when they sent their product in. And we had a $41 billion deficit. $41 billion with this beautiful place. Flew over it, isn't it nice? So I said, let's put a 30% tariff on them so that we get back some of it, not all of it at all.
And
We still have
tariffs.
a deficit,
He hasn't mentioned
big
tariffs
deficit.
that
We had
much
40,
that
41
many
million.
times.
That's a big deficit. And I said, let's put a tariff on. Different tariffs, different places. You're all party to them. In some cases, victims to them. But in the end, it's a fair thing. And most of you realize that. But we put a 30% tariff on Switzerland, and all hell broke loose. They were calling, I mean, like you wouldn't believe. And I know so many people from Switzerland, incredible place, incredible, brilliant place. But I didn't realize that they're only good because of us. And there's so many other examples. I mean, us, probably other places, but a majority of the money they make is because of us, because we never charged them anything. So they come in, they sell their watches, no tariffs, no nothing. They walk away, they make $41 billion on just us. So I said, no, we can't do that. So I'm going to bring it up. I still would have a deficit pretty substantial, but I brought it up to 30%. And I guess Prime Minister, I don't think President, I think Prime Minister called a woman, and she was very repetitive. She said, no, you cannot do that.
Now he's talking about, Swiss chocolate and wristwatches.
I don't know why. I'm disappointed in myself for thinking this would be like important,
Yeah, I was waiting for a big drop, but maybe it's coming. You never know. He's building it up so slowly. The tension is just insane. But my brain hurts listening to him for 1 hour and 6 minutes.
like you said, you can't follow. It's like always switching topics and like nonsense.
Unbelievable.
And I was paid visits by everybody. Rolex came to see me. They all came to see me.
Oh God. He mentioned. Someone please, if you got the recording or the script, just feed it into ChatGPT and just find out how many topics he talked about in the last 1 hour or during his speech.
Too many.
Thomas, it's muted for us.
Yeah, for me too.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, I'm watching.
That's the moment we have to thank
The
him.
whole world afloat. Many places I could give you 6, 7 places just in the people in this little area. I know every one of them. They're looking down. They don't want to see me and they don't want to stare me in the eyes. But they're taking advantage of, everybody took advantage of the United States. But I've been very fair and I gave them a tariff and it was fine. But I realized that without us, it's not Switzerland anymore. Without us, it's not any of the countries that are represented here. And we want to work with the countries. We want to work with them. We're not looking to destroy them. I could have said
check on the
39, 40.
position. US 30 is running at 127 pips profit. I'm gonna take profit at 2,000, so cover the losses from the gold stop loss hits earlier. And gold long, if I had to choose between buy and sell, I would leave the buy, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm gonna call it today because my son just came home from kindergarten. So we listened to Trump for 1 hour and 10 minutes, and it's been absolutely painful. Absolutely painful. I'm gonna leave that gold long position. Move stop loss a little bit higher, so making sure that the loss is below £1,000, and yeah, gonna keep the US 30 as well, and I'm gonna go make some dinner for my family. Thank you so much, guys. Good luck listening for the rest of the speech. I don't know how long he's got.
Yeah,
but stay
thank you.
alert. Okay. I apologize, but this was almost impossible to trade. Like, he switched topics every 3 minutes, and what the biggest takeaway from his speech was, now we understood and learned how great he is. That was the biggest takeaway of this speech. So well done, Trump. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Bye.
Thank you, Thomas. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, thank you so much for everyone who joined the Alpha live stream. I put a discount link into the YouTube chat. I'm going to pin it to the top, so when you go into the chat, it's pinned to the top. You can join the Alpha FX community for a fixed price lifetime. This is a big discount. We're going to live trade all the high impact events, and we do have morning briefing. Just read the website and you will understand. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye. Sziasztok ki. Gyere ide.